Hi everyone, is my voice audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So far we have completed 7 modules and today we are going to see with module number 8. Module number 8 is all about UML diagrams. In this module I am going to give introduction about UML, that is what is unified modeling language. Then we are going to see with different diagrams and UML. So I will be explaining you about use case, sequence and activity diagrams. And in use case, I will explain what is a use case, what is a actor. Then we will see what are the relationships in use case diagrams, what are the functionalities, and how to write a use case description document, and then how to draw a use case diagram, then how to draw a sequence and activity diagrams, then what are the tools that we are going to use to draw these diagrams. Okay, and after that we will have 4 case studies. So I will make you to draw use case diagram with the help of these 4 case studies. Okay, now coming to UML. So as I explained you earlier, UML stands for Unified Modeling Language. So what is Unified Modeling Language means? It's a pictographical representation of all interactions between the actors, users, and the system. Okay, that means whatever the interactions that are happening within the system, between the actor, user, and the system. So we are going to represent them in the form of a diagram, which is nothing but UML diagrams. Okay, so this UML is also known as universal language because each and every software employee who is going to work within the company will know about this language, and there are some notations and conditions to draw this diagram. Okay, so as I said, as a BA we are going to use case, sequence and activity diagrams to explain the functionalities or requirements of the system. So first we will see with use case diagram. So what is use case means? A distinct business function is known as use case. That means within a function or within a requirement, whatever the action we are going to do, each and every action we are going to represent as use case. Okay. So use case is the highest level of all UML diagrams and it is represented by eclipse symbol. I am going to show you. Then like use case diagram explains what aspect, what means what is happening in the system. Okay, so we can call use case diagram as a mother of all diagram, and in use case diagram we explain all the actions that are done by the users, system, actors. Okay, so here if I say actor, I have to explain some points related to actor. So who is an actor means it could be a living or non-living thing. And actor is always represented by noun. Okay. And there will be 2 type of actors, primary and secondary actor. Primary actor always initiates the system to function. That means the primary actor always give request to the system and the system depends upon the secondary actor to get some data. Okay. So all primary actors will be placed left side of the system boundary and all secondary actors are reusable actors which are placed right side of the system boundary. And the symbol for actor is stick symbol. So this is a symbol for actor. Okay. So these are some points related to use case and related to actor. Then what are the contents of use case diagram means? These are the 4 contents. So like we have actor, the stick symbol, and this eclipse symbol is nothing but use case, and we will have a system boundary. That means the rectangular shape is nothing but a system boundary. So within system boundary, we are going to place the use cases to show that within the system, the actions are taking place. Okay, and these are relationships. So I'm going to explain the different relationships. So we are going to draw a use case diagram only with these contents. Apart from this, we are not going to use any other contents. Okay. Now, coming to relationships in use case diagrams. So we have four types of relationships. First one is association. Second one is generalization. Third one is composition. Third one is aggregation. And fourth one is composition. So among these four relationships, as a BA, we are going to use only two, that is association and generalization. So aggregation and composition we are not going to use, but I will explain what is aggregation and composition also. Now, first one is association. So what is association means? The relationship between two legal entities. Okay. So association is nothing but the relationship between two legal entities. That means, for example, if you assume that if you got a job and you have to report to your manager on so and so date. Now, your manager don't know who are you till you reports to him, and you don't know who is your manager till you reports to you. Okay. So on that particular day when you report, then your manager will come to know, okay, she is the person who is going to work under me. And you will come to know, okay, he is my manager, so I used to report to him. So here it forms a association relationship, a unknown relationship. Okay. Another one is if you are standing in a bus stop and waiting for a bus, and if your neighbors are coming and talking to you, there forms association relationship. The best example is between you people and me. So I don't know who you people are, and you don't know who I am. So once I formed the batch and started giving training, I came to know, okay, these are the people who are going to join in this batch. And you came to know, okay, this is the guy who is going to take training. So there forms a association relationship, a unknown relationship. Okay. So in association also we have three types, like unary, binary, and ternary. So unary means one-way relationship. One way in the sense if A knows B and B don't know A. Okay. And it is represented by a line and a arrow. So example means if I ask you people who is the PM of India, everyone can say. But if I go and ask to PM who is so and so person, he can't say. So that is nothing but one-way relationship. If I ask you who is Sachin Tendulkar, everyone can say. If I go and ask Sachin Tendulkar who is so and so person, you won't recognize. That is nothing but one-way relationship. Okay. And binary in the sense two-way relationship. If A knows B and B knows A. So the relationship between you and your best friend. If you knows everything about your best friend knows everything about you. So that is nothing but give and take policy, two-way relationship. Okay. Then ternary. Ternary means nothing but multi-relationship. If A knows B and B knows C and C also knows A, it is a multi-relationship. For example, if you are joining in any college, assume that there are 40 students in your class. So for first 2 or 3 days, these 40 students don't know each other. But after 1 week, they will come to know about each other. that is nothing but ternary. Okay, so these are the three relationships in association. Among these three, as a BA, we are going to use only unary relationship. Okay, then second one is generalization. So generalization means the relationship between general class or special class, or parent and child relationship. Okay, for example, if I say I have a bank account, then it could be savings account, it could be fixed deposit account, it could be current account. Okay, in the same way, if I say I have two kids, so both kids can be male and both kids can be female, or one can be male or one can be female. Okay, so there forms a special relationship. If I say I have computer in my home, then you can have a like mouse, you will have keypad, you will have CPU. So there forms a special relationship. So that is nothing but generalization. Okay, then it is a symbol for generalization, a line and a triangle. Then next one is aggregation. Aggregation means the relationship between whole and its parts, wherein if the whole dies, the parts also die. Okay, so I am talking about whole, 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 and parts, PARTS, parts. Okay, for example, I will take as pound and duck. Okay, so if there is no water in the pond, the duck can still survive on the land. So here I am considering pound as a whole and duck as a part. If whole dies, that means if there is no water in the pond, the parts still remain to continue. The duck still remain to continue on the land. Okay, so it is represented by line and a empty diamond. So this is the symbol for aggregation. Then next one is composition. Composition means the relationship between whole and its parts, wherein if the whole dies, the parts also die. So here I will consider pond and fish. So if there is no water in the pond, the fish can't survive on the land. It also dies. Okay. So that is nothing but aggregation, and it is represented by filled diamond, a line with filled diamond. This is composition. So to give better clarity about aggregation and composition, so I will relate, yeah. So I will relate aggregation with normal Android mobile phone and composition with Apple iPhone. So in case if you take normal Android mobile phone, in case if it is getting repaired, if you go to repairing shop and if he says that this phone cannot be repaired, so you can take out the battery and you can use that battery in any other phone. Okay, that means it is aggregation. Here I am comparing phone with whole and battery with part. So if whole is dying, if phone is not getting repaired, we can still use the parts. So I can take out the battery and I can use that battery in any other phone. That is possible. Now coming to iPhone, if iPhone is getting repaired and if I go to repairing shop and if he says that we can't repair it, then you have to throw the battery also. You can't take out because it is a inbuilt. Okay. So if whole is not working, the parts also won't work. So that is nothing but composition. Okay. So these are the four different relationships. First one is association, generalization, aggregation, and composition. Among these four, as a BA, we are going to use only association and generalization. Again, in association, we are going to use only unionary. Okay, just go through the notes once.
Done. Done.
So this is how the sample use case diagram looks like. So this rectangle shape is nothing but system boundary, and these use case 1, use case 2, use case 3 are nothing but the actions which we are going to represent in the form of a use case. And you can see actor 1 and actor 3 are primary actors which are placed left side of the system boundary, and actor 2 is a secondary actor which is placed right side of the system boundary. So this actor 1 and actor 3 will be giving request to the system, and system is depending upon the secondary actor to get some data. Okay, so anyhow, we are going to see some practical diagrams.
Done. Done.
Okay, then next we will see with functions in use case diagram. Okay, so we have three types of functions in use case diagram. What are those means? Extend, include, and trigger mechanism. Okay, now what is extend function means? The term extend in use case diagram refers to if a action is taking place, then other action must and should take place. So that is nothing but extend functionality. That means in extend function, you will be having two actions. One is base action and another one is extend action. So the extend action is going to depend upon the base action. That means if base action is taking place, the extend action must and should take place. So the extend action is going to increase the functionality of the base action, or it is going to enhance the result of the base action. So that is nothing but extend function. So let me explain you with an example. Now, you people know how to withdraw money from ATM. Okay. For example, if you want to withdraw some 5,000 rupees or something, what you will do, you will go to ATM center, you will dip your ATM card and enter PIN number, and then you will select withdraw functionality, and then you will enter the amount as 5,000. Then the system will give you 5,000. So as soon as the system gives you 5,000, within some fraction of seconds, you are going to receive an SMS. Okay. So you will be receiving an SMS on your registered mobile number saying that you have withdrawn 5,000 rupees. The available balance is so and so. Okay. So here withdrawing is nothing but base action and getting SMS is nothing but extend action. So if you withdraw money, definitely you are going to get SMS. That is mandatory. Okay. So not only withdraw, if you perform any transaction, if you deposit also, you will get a SMS saying that your account has been credited with so and so amount. Available balance is this one. In case if your transaction is getting failed also, you will get an SMS saying that your last transaction was declined because of so and so reason. So that is nothing but whatever the transaction we are doing, that is base action, and getting a SMS is extend action. So it is mandatory to get extend function, extend action. Okay. Then in the same way you will have include function. So the term include means if an action is taking place, the other action may or may not take place. Okay. So in include also we will have two actions. One is base action and another one is include action. But here the base action is going to depend upon the include action. In the earlier case, the extend action was depending upon the base action, but here the base action is going to depend upon the include action. Wherein in include action you will have some conditions. So if the conditions are satisfied, then only the base action will success. If the conditions are not satisfied, the base action won't be success. Okay. So for example, now assume that you have a bank account and there is a condition with your bank that you need to maintain a minimum balance of 5,000 rupees every time in your account. Okay. Now you have 6,000 rupees in your account and you want to withdraw 2,000 rupees. So what you will do, you will go to the ATM center, you will dip your card, enter your PIN and select withdraw function, and you will select the amount as 2,000 rupees. So once you select the amount 2,000 rupees, in include action, what happens means the system, inside the system, it is going to trigger check availability function. Okay. So it is going to connect with check availability function. Then the system will start checking. That means the available balance is 6,000 and you got a request for 2,000. So 6,000 minus 2,000 equal to 4,000. But minimum balance should be of 5,000. So it is not meeting the criteria. in case if you are going to withdraw this money. So what happens here? You will get a message saying that you have insufficient balance. Okay. So check availability is in include function. So here we are going to give conditions. If this condition is satisfied, then only your base action will satisfy. If condition is not satisfied, then base action won't be success. Okay. Now, in the second scenario, assume that you have a account balance of 8,000 rupees. Now, if you want to withdraw 2,000, then you will go to ATM center. You will dip your card, enter your PIN, and select withdraw function, and you will select the amount as 2,000. So once you select amount 2,000, inside the system, what happens? It will trigger the check availability function. Okay. Again, the system starts checking. Available balance is 8,000. You got a request for 2,000. 8,000 minus 2,000 equal to 6,000. So 6,000 is more than 5,000. So here check availability include condition is getting satisfied. Then the system will allow you to withdraw money. Okay. So that is nothing but include function. Okay. The next one is trigger mechanism. So what is trigger mechanism means, if a action is taking automatically without any manual intervention, then we are going to call that as a trigger mechanism. Okay. So if a action takes automatically without any manual intervention, we are going to call that as trigger mechanism. Example, like we can say schedulers, alarm, intervals. So all these are examples for trigger mechanism. All these are primary actors. Okay. Now, what happens here? For example, if you want to wake up early in the morning, say 3:30 or 4 a.m. So what you will do? You will keep alarm in your watch or mobile. So once if the system shows that it is 3:30 or 4, the alarm starts ringing. Now, do you think that there is a person who is going to perform this activity? No, it is happened automatically. How? In the sense, with the help of trigger mechanism concept. Okay. Another example is like if you would have registered your email ID with the bank. Okay. So on every month, 5th date, on your email ID, you will receive the account statement. Now, do you think that there is a person who is going to sit on the system on every month 5th and he will send the mails? It is not going to happen like that. So whenever they develop the system, they are going to enable this trigger mechanism, and they will give conditions saying that if person is getting registered with email ID, so the system should trigger that email ID and it should calculate the account statement automatically and send it to that email ID on 5th of every month. So in this way, they will enable this. That's the reason on every month 5th, you will be getting automated mail. So that is nothing but trigger mechanism concept. Okay. Then, so here till now we have seen what is UML, then use case, then actor, and what are the different relationships and what are the different functions. So moving forward, I want to tell you one truth. So this UML diagrams concept is very important for a BA from theoretical perspective. But in practical, we are not going to use this in our project. It is very rare where we are going to draw the UML diagrams. If rare in the sense, if I say out of 10,000 companies, there will be only one company which is going to ask you to draw UML diagram, because it is very costly and time consuming. So generally, If you are working in product-based company, then they will ask. That too very rare. Why? Because each and every use case will lead to sequence diagram, and each and every use case should have use case description document. Now assume that in your project there are 400 requirements, and to draw use case diagrams for 400 requirements, like for assume that for each requirement there are 20 actions. So we have to draw 20 use case diagrams. For each action we have to draw one use case diagram. So for one requirement we are drawing 20 use case diagrams. Assume that for 400 requirements how many use case diagrams we have to draw, and again for each use case there will be a sequence diagram. Okay, and again we have to write use case description document. So it is very time consuming. Your client will be giving 1.5 or 2 years of time. If you keep on drawing use case diagrams, you will waste your time in there only. So that's the reason it is very rare that we are going to use in practical. But you should know about the concept. It is very important from interview perspective. Okay. Now coming to use case description document, this is mandatory. So for each and every project we are going to draw, we are going to write use case description document. Okay, so this we are going to write separately, or we are going to include in the SRS document. Okay, so this use case description document explains about a particular use case, how it is going to function, what are the features. Okay, now these are the contents in use case description document. Standard contents, like first one is use case name, second one is use case description, then third one is actors present, fourth one is basic flow, fifth one is alternate flow, sixth one is exceptional flow, seventh one is preconditions, eighth one is post conditions, and ninth one is business flow. Okay, now it depends upon your project manager. So your project manager will come and say, write a use case description document and use only use case name, use case description, actors present, and business rules. Then we are going to write only with these 4 contents. If you ask write a use case description document with use case name and then use case description and basic flow and preconditions, post conditions, business rules, then we are going to write only with this. Okay, now let me explain each and every content by taking an example. So I will take the example of login function. Okay, now use case name, here you need to give a name for the use case. So I will give it as login. Okay, then second one is use case description. Here you have to give some description about that particular use case. Then here I will give description as, if we enter user ID and password and click on login button, the system will allow you to get into login. Okay, then third one is actors present. So you have to identify what are the actors that are there in this login function. So who is going to give login request? The customer. So customer will become one actor. Then the system is going to depend upon the database. So bank database will become one actor. Then who is going to maintain all this? The admin. So the admin is going to become one actor. Now we will explain. So in actors present, there will be 3 actors. So customer and admin are the primary actors and system database is the secondary actor. So in this way we will explain. Okay. Then next one is basic flow. Basic flow is nothing but happy flow or positive flow. That means if you enter correct user ID and correct password and click on login, the system should allow you to enter into the application. So that is a basic normal flow. Okay. Then next one is alternate flow. Alternate flow is a negative flow. Okay, that means it will give the alternate option in case if you are unable to log in through normal process. For example, assume that you are giving something wrong. Like if you give user ID or password as wrong, so the system will give a message saying that you did not enter correct user ID or password. Okay. So if you keep on giving wrong password for 3 times, your account will be blocked. At that time, what happens? The system will give a message saying that, so please enter your secret answer question and answer to create a new password. That means here system is showing some alternate way to enter in case if basic flow is not functioning. Okay, it is showing alternate way. Create your user ID, create your password by giving secret question and answer and login. Okay, then next one is exceptional flow. Exceptional flow means here the system will not allow you to go forward in the workflow. It will stop there only in case if you get exceptional flow. Okay, for example, power shutdown, system repair. So all this comes under exceptional flow category. Let me give an example. Suppose if you are doing some work on the system, suddenly the power goes and there is no backup for your system. So you can't go forward in that process. So the system will stop you there only. That is nothing but exceptional flow. So the best example is our training. So here we are getting connected through internet. Now suppose if net is getting disconnected, so I can't go forward in my training. Why? Because you and me are not connected. So you people don't know what I am explaining. Okay, you can't see my screen. So that is nothing but exceptional flow. So sometimes you can observe if you want to open any website, it will say page cannot be displayed, exceptional error 0404. That means some damage has happened to that particular website. It is in repair. Okay. Then seventh one is preconditions. Preconditions means before using that particular functionality, there will be some conditions which has to satisfy. For example, if you are using login functionality, so when you can use this login functionality, when you create a user ID and create a password and configure that with the system, then only you can use this login functionality. So creating this user ID and password is nothing but precondition. Okay. Then post condition means destination path. So after this login, what should happen? That is nothing but post condition. So once logging is taking place, then we will enter into the application. That is nothing but post condition. Okay. The next one is business rules. So business rules are the rules that are incorporated by the company or state. For example, if I say the minimum balance should be 5,000 rupees, that is one business rule. So you can't do more than 5 transactions in a month from a particular ATM center. That is a business rule. Okay. And you can withdraw only 20,000 daily. That is a business rule. So all these are business rules. So in this way, we have to prepare the use case description document. Okay. So just go through the notes once.
Done. 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 Done.
Okay. Then now I will explain you how to draw a use case diagram in a simple way. So there will be 4 simple steps. With the help of those 4 simple steps, we are going to draw use case diagram. Now, if I explain these 4 steps, if you are unable, don't get panic. Anyway, I am going to explain again these steps while doing a practical diagram. Okay. So to draw a use case diagram, first we need to write all the actions in a sequence. That means once you get the project, you have to identify all the actions and you have to put all the actions in a sequence. Okay. Then second one is you have to identify which one is actor based or system based. That means you have to take each action, you have to identify whether it will be done by the actor or whether it will be done by the system. Then third step is try to combine some of the low level actions into high level business functions, or try to combine some of the low actions and make it as a use case. So if there are some minute or low actions, so we are going to combine it as a and name it as a big action and put it as a use case. Okay. Then we have to draw appropriate lines between the identified actions, actors, and the use cases. Okay. So whatever the actors we have identified, we are going to draw appropriate lines. So you can see here. So this use case 1, use case 2, use case 3 are nothing but the actions which we have identified. And we are going to put in a sequence. Okay. And we will take each action. Use case 1 we will take and we will see whether it is done by the system or actor. Okay. In the same for use case 2 and for use case 3. Then as I said, this action we are going to name it as a use case. And after that we will give these relationships. These arrow marks are nothing but relationships. Okay. So we are going to have practical case study. Then second one is just give me 1 minute. Huh? Okay. Then next one is sequence diagram. So sequence diagram speaks about how aspect, that is how it is happening in the system. So as use case diagram speaks about what aspect, in the same way sequence diagram speaks about how aspect, how it is happening in the system. So here also we will have 4 simple steps to draw a sequence diagram. Okay. So as I said, each and every use case diagram will lead to sequence diagram. So first step is refer to use case diagram. So whatever the use case diagram we draw, so we have to refer to that use case diagram. Then second one is take each use case and identify who is the primary actor and who is the secondary actor. Okay. So we have to take each use case separately and we have to identify who is the primary actor and who is the secondary actor. Then third one is use MVC, model view controller, for each use case to identify the boundary class, controller class and entity class. So we are going to use MVC, model view controller, for each use case. Okay, to identify the boundary class, controller class and entity class. Then fourth one is we have to put these identified classes in 2-tier or 3-tier architecture and draw appropriate lines. We have to keep these identified classes in 2-tier or 3-tier architecture and keep appropriate lines. Okay. So these are the 4 steps. I'm going to explain how to do this also. So in sequence diagram also, we will have some contents. Okay. So we have 4 contents. The first one is lifeline. Second one is camel casing. Third one is return messages. And fourth one is focus of control. So lifeline means it explains the life of a object and it is represented by dotted lines. I am going to show all those. Then second one is camel casing. Camel casing means it is a method. Camel casing is a method to depict the method. Okay. So in camel casing, we are going to write the first letter of the first 4 in lower cases and the subsequent word first letter upper cases without any space. Okay. So camel casing is a notation to dip the method. So I'm going to show that format also. Then third one is return messages. So here the message is going to flow in a backward direction. So you need to remember one thing, it is the only message which is going to flow in a backward direction. A method never flows in a reverse direction and it is represented by reverse arrow. Okay. Then next one is focus of control. So focus of control means it explains the life of a method and it is represented by a small rectangular box. So all these I am going to show you. And next comes to activity diagrams. So activity diagrams speaks about the activities that are happening in the system from the system perspective, not from the actor's perspective. Okay. That means within the system, whatever the activities that are taking place from the system perspective, not from the actor's perspective. That is activity diagram. Okay. So these are the 3 diagrams which the BA generally uses to explain the functionality. But as I said, it is very rare. So forget about sequence and activity diagrams. So only use case diagrams we are going to use very rare. Okay. Then what are the tools that we are going to use to draw these diagrams? Okay. So there are 2 most popular tools, that is MS Visio and Rational Rows. Okay. So many of the companies will be using any of these tools. They might be using MS Visio or Rational Rows. These two are paid tools, not free tools. Okay, paid tools in the sense, for example, in your project if there are 10 BAs, so the company is not going to give access to the 10 BAs. So whatever the BA who is going to work on UML diagrams, he will get the access because they are going to charge per user. Okay, then coming to rational rows. So these rational rows, if you are going to click on that application, so you will get 4 folders. Okay, so 4 folders will be opening. The first folder will be use case view, where we are going to draw use case diagrams in that, and second one is logical view. Okay, so we are going to draw sequence and activity diagrams in that. And then third one is component view, and fourth one is deployment view. So these are used by other stakeholders, not the BAs. Okay, then the extension for rational rows is dot DML. That is, whatever you are going to save in rational rows, we are going to save under the format called dot MDL. Sorry, dot MDL. Then, as I said you, each use case will lead to a sequence diagram, and in each use case we have to write a use case description document. Okay, so just go through the notes once. I will show you.
Done. Done. Done.
So this is how the sequence diagram looks like. Let me explain you. Okay. So as I said about 4 contents, this dotted lines is nothing but lifeline, and this is nothing but camel casing. Okay. So as I said, the first letter of the first word will be in lower cases, and the subsequent word will be in upper cases without any space. So here you can see the first letter E is in lower cases, and the subsequent word is login, and in that the first letter is L, which is in upper cases without any space. So this is nothing but camel casing, because the system is going to take in this way. If you write in a general way, employee login, but the system is going to take in this format. Okay. And this rectangular shape is nothing but focus of control. And this is nothing but return messages. Okay. So this is how we are going to draw a sequence diagram for login page. So here will be the employee. So he is going to give user ID, password, and click on login button. Okay. So that is nothing but lifeline. So these dotted lines will end when the method ends. Okay. So here in business class. So as I said, what is business class means? This image where you are going to enter user ID and password. So there the employee is going to give his username, password, and click on login button. So once he clicks on login button, this request will be sent to the controller class. The controller class is going to accept that request, which has some logic in it. Okay. And what controller class will do is, it will send these details to the related database tables. That means the controller class will send user ID to the user ID table, which is in entity class, and password to the password table, which is in entity class. Okay. Now matching will take place, whether this user ID is related with this password or not. In case that is nothing but validation. So in case if this user ID is matched with this password, then login will successful. So in case if there is any mistake, then you are going to get a return message saying that your user ID is wrong or your password is wrong. So that is nothing but return message. In case everything is okay, so login will take place, and that's the reason here you can't see the dotted lines, because we completed the method. Okay. So in this way we are going to draw sequence diagrams, but don't get panic. No one is going to ask you. Then next one is activity diagram. Okay. So here also we have some contents. So for activity diagram, you need to have the start point and end point, and these rectangular boxes are nothing but the process, and this diamond box is nothing but the validation box. Okay. So generally activity diagram explains in case if you are giving right information, what happens. In case if you are giving wrong information, what happens. Okay. So this is an example for login page. So first we are going to give login details, user ID, password, and click on login. So the system will validate whether these details are correct or not. That is checking login details. In case everything is correct, then login will successful and there ends the method. In case if login details are wrong, so again it will route to the main page saying that enter correct user ID or password. Okay. So just go through these points.
Done.
Okay. So let me show you. I explained about relational rows, right? So I will show you the screenshots for MS Visio. So once you double click on MS Visio software, this is the screen which you are going to get. Okay. So here you can see the multiple folders. Getting started is one folder, samples is one folder, business is one folder, engineering is one folder. In the same way, if you double click on relational rows, this is MS Visio. if you double click on relational rows, here you are going to get only 4 folders. Here you are going to get multiple folders. That is the only difference between MS Visio and relational rows. Rest of everything will be okay. Okay. So rest of everything will be okay. Like only the GUI changes. All the operations will be same. Only the designing changes. Okay. So once you enter into the screen, first you need to double click on software and database, the last folder. So once you double click on this, then you will get the screen in this way. So you will get some templates like database model diagram, UML model diagram, Windows XP user interface. Okay. So like all conceptual website and all these things. Now you want to draw UML diagram. So you will double click on UML model diagram. If you double click on UML model diagram, then this is the page you are going to get. So here you are going to get a graph and this is the slide bar. So you are going to get all the options in a sidebar. So whatever you want to do, for example, if you want to do UML use case, if you click on this, the symbols related to UML use case will appear here. So you are going to drag and drop into the graph. Okay, that is very simple. But just once you drag into the graph, it will give options to increase or to move or to decrease. Accordingly, we will move. In case if you want to draw sequence diagrams, so you have to click on UML sequence. So if you click on UML sequence, the symbol related to UML sequence will appear here. Again, you are going to drag and drop. In the same way, for activity diagrams, if you click on the symbol UML activity, the symbols related to UML will be there. You can drag and drop. Okay. So in the same way, for flowcharts, if you want to draw flowcharts, you need to click on basic flowchart shapes. Then the symbols related to flowchart will appear and you can drag and drop. Okay. So this is how we are going to do a use case diagram. So let me show you one use case diagram. Okay. Yeah. So this is our first case study, that is draw a use case diagram for online gift management system. Okay. So working process is there. Customer will log into the website, request for gift catalog and select items for gift catalog. Customer then add item to the card and enter receiver's address. Then he makes payment through online by integrated gateway and system will maintain database and update database. Okay. So generally in the project, you are going to get as a project. So you have to read that project and you have to identify the actions and you have to keep those actions in a sequence. So as this is the first case study, so I don't want to make you confused. So I kept in a easy process, like I identified the actions and kept in a sequence. Okay. So you people know how to how the process goes in Amazon. Suppose if you want to purchase anything in Amazon, so first you are going to enter your login details. Then after that you will search for a product, and in case if you get a product, then you will add that product to the cart, and then you will enter delivery details, and then you will go to bill payment and you will make payment. So that is the process. In the same way, for online gift management also, we are having some process. So this process, we are going to show how to put that in a use case diagram. Okay. Now, I will give you a website. You have to register in that website. So the website name is gliffy.com. Okay. So it's gliffy.com. You need to enter into that website and you have to click on free trial. Okay. So once you click on free trial, it will ask you to enter your email ID and password. Okay. So you can enter anything. Okay. No need to create any email ID. So in a random way, you can enter anything. Okay. And you can give password, and here select organization size. So you can select anything. Okay. And you can click on start Giphy diagram for free. Okay. So once you click on free trial, so in this way, here you can see 14 days left for your trial. So you can use this for 14 days and you can practice UML diagrams. Once if you complete 14 days, and again you can create with some other ID and you can use. So no need to purchase this. This is actually a paid site, but we are going to see in a free trial. So in this way, you will enter into the Giphy. Okay. So once you enter, you can see the graph and you can see the slide bar. So first in the slide bar, you need to see whether UML 1.0 is there or not. Here you can see UML 1.0 is there. So for some systems, by default, it won't be there. For example, if I delete this, okay, now I can't see UML 1.0. Okay, what I need to do is, like, you need to click on more shapes and you need to expand this software design. Okay, so here you can see UML 1.0 is not selected. So whatever you are selecting here, it will appear here in the slide bar. So whatever you are not selected, it won't appear. So what I will do is, I will click on software design and select all. And to draw UML diagrams, I don't need all this. So now I will unclick. Then I want only UML 1.0 and UML use. So I will select only these two and click on OK. Okay. So here you can see UML 1.0 and UML use case. Okay. Now, first to draw UML diagram, you have to take a system boundary. So system boundary you can take from UML use case, this one. System, or in this one UML 1.0, you can take this simple class. Okay. So just I will drag into the graph and place in the middle of the graph, and it will ask you to name. So don't name it. Okay. So to come out of this option, just click somewhere outside this system boundary. Then you will come out of that graph. Okay. Now, if you want to increase the size of system boundary, you need to click inside. You can see some small rectangular boxes are there. So with the help of that, you can drag. Okay. Whatever the size you want, you can just drag it. And whatever the size you want, you can take in this way. Okay. Now to get out of this option, just click somewhere outside this system boundary. So now I have taken system boundary. Then second one is I want to name it. So to name, I am going to click on text tool. So I will click on text tool, and wherever you want to name, you have to click over there. I want to name on top. I will click here. One text box appear. Then I will give name as online gift management system. Okay. Now I want to change the size and color. So I will select this and I will go to text properties here. Okay. So here it is 12px. I will change it to 36px. Okay. And the font is in black. So I will change it to something blue. Okay. And I will close this. Now to get out of this option, you have to click on pointer. This is the pointer. So if you click, then you will come out of this option. Now I want to arrange in a proper manner. So to arrange this, again, if I click on this, then you will get options and accordingly you can arrange. So in this way. So in this way, I will give name and I have taken system boundary. Now I will start doing use case diagram. So the first one is customer will log into the website. This is the first action. Okay. So as I explained you, first we are going to take a use case. This is use case and I will place in the middle of the system boundary and I will name it as login. So who is going to give login? The actor. So first I will take actor and place left side of the system boundary. Once you place, it will ask you to name. So I will name it as customer. Okay. And I'm going to give association relationship. So this is nothing but association message. Okay. So just I will take this and I will place on this line. So once you place on this line, you can see some plus symbols appearing to the actor and use case to connect. So wherever plus symbols are there, you can connect over there. For example, see, I will connect this here. So once it get connected, it will indicate. You can see a small round ball. That means it got connected. So you can connect wherever the plus symbols are there. You can connect here or you can connect here or you can connect here. Okay. So I will connect here. Then in the same way, this side, I will connect to customer. Okay. So after that, you need to check whether it got connected properly or not. How to check means you click on customer, then with the help of up and down arrows, try to move the customer. So you can see the line also moving. That means it got connected. So if it is not getting connected, it won't move. For example, now see, if you move the customer, the arrow is not moving, the line. That means it did not get connected. So you need to check whether it got connected properly or not. Okay. Now customer is giving user ID, password and clicking on login button. Now what happens? The system is going to depend upon the secondary actor. That means that details will be going to the system database. So I will take secondary actor and place it here and I will name it as system database. Okay. And again, I will connect here. So this is how login function looks like. The customer is giving user ID and password to the system and system is depending upon the system database. Okay. Then second one is request for gift catalog and select items for gift catalog. So here you can see two actions. One is request for gift catalog and select items for gift catalog. Then I will take one more use case and place below to this and name it as request for gift catalog. Okay. And again, I will give the relationship. So this will also hit the system. So once you request for gift catalog, it will hit the system and it will display the gift. Then again, I will take one more use case and I will place below and name it as select gift. So once you select gift, then it will be saved in the system database temporary folders. Why in temporary folders means we did not completed the full process. Okay. So in this way it looks like. Then next one is customer then add item to the card and enter receiver's address. Here also we have two actions. One is add to card and enter receiver's address. Then I will take one more use case and place below to this and name it as RP card. So who is going to do this function? Customer. So once you add to cart, then it will also saved in the temporary folders. Okay. Then I will take one more use case and place below to this and name it as enter receiver address. Okay. So who is going to enter? The customer only. So again, it will be saved in the system database. Now, if you want, you can adjust, you can bring this down. So you can see one is not getting connected. Okay. Then the next one is he makes payment through online by integrated gateway. Okay, now if you want to increase your system boundary, you can increase. I will take one more use case and place below to this and name it as make payment for who is going to do the customer only. And it is not mandatory that I have to take from here. I can take from here also. Okay. Then when you make payment, you are going to get one more secondary actor, that is payment gateway. So as I said, in case if you are selecting credit card, it will hit the credit card payment gateway. In case if you select debit card, it will hit the debit card payment gateway. So here I will take payment gateway and I will link to this. Okay. Then next one is system admin maintain database and update database. So there is one more action. I will take one more use case and name it as maintain database. And I'm going to take one more actor because this is done by the admin. I will name it as admin and this will be done by the admin. Okay. And then it will be linked with system database. Okay. So in this way, you are going to draw the use case diagram. So you need to click on save. Once you click on save, it will ask to give file name. I will name it as online gift management system and I will click on save. So your diagram will be saved. Now, if you want to again make any modifications, you need to go to my documents, click on Glyphy, then your document manager will open and whatever the diagrams you have saved, you can see that here. Then if you want to open this, you need to double click on this. Okay. Then the diagram will open, and again you can just edit. Okay. So this is how we are going to do use case diagram. As I said, there are some conditions. So what are those conditions means? The first one is, as I said, you have to place the primary actors on the left side, and always remember, if you are placing a actor on left side, it means it will give a request to the system, and secondary actors are placed right side. Okay. So generally in secondary actors, there will be only 4 things. One is database, another one is third party integrations and interfaces and internet connections. So this only you are going to get as secondary actors. Okay. Then we are not going to repeat the functions. Okay. For example, here I am showing login for customer. So to do admin also first you need to log in. So I am going to show one function only once, not repeated. If you want to show repeated, there will be some millions of customers. Okay. Just to show that, I will explain only one time. Then next one is, we can't show negative flow in use case diagrams. We will show only positive flow. That means how the login takes place we can show. We can't show in case if login is getting failed, what happens. That in use case diagram we are not going to show. Okay, negative flow we are not going to show. Okay. Then direction of arrows is very much important. How we are keeping. In case if the direction changes, then the entire meaning changes. Okay. So these are some conditions which you need to remember while doing use case diagram. Okay. Now you can see with the second one. So I am going to give this as an assignment. So try to work on this. Draw a use case diagram for bank ATM system with all relationships. Like customer will log in. I have shown perform transaction. So here you have to take deposit, withdraw and transfer. So you have to show user generalization, include and extend functions. I will give you some sample diagrams. You can see that and you can draw how I did. Then bill payment to eSeva. So there we have taken payment gateway. Here they have given as eSeva. So you have to take at eSeva. Then you have to show request for checkbook. This option of VIP customers. So you have to take a action request for checkbook and you have to show that it is available only for VIP customers. Then stocker refill cache. So there will be stocker who is going to refill cache, and system admin maintain database and update database. Okay. So this you have to do it as an assignment. So just create a Glyphy account and try to work on that. Okay. So this is about our module number 8. So we will have still more 2 use cases. We are going to work on that also. And tomorrow we will start with module number 9. Okay. Is it?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.